Hi, my name is Deirdre. I'm a teacher in a middle school in New Jersey, and today I'm going to talk about Google Drive and specifically Google Forms and Google Sheets and how I use them in my classroom. So first we are going to go to New, and I'm going to show you exactly where to get Google Sheets. Now, if you click on More, Google Forms is right there. And Google Forms and Google Sheets are actually attached to each other, and I'll show you how that works in a little bit. So if you wanted a Google form, you would open that up. Now, just as everything in Google, you want to give it a title. So if it's a generic survey that you'll want to be using multiple times across any grade level, you can give it a generic name like Marking Period 2, for example. If it's something more specific, like to a specific unit or a specific grade, then you probably want to give it something more specific like 7.unit 3 so that you know what it really pertains to. Your form settings. So require a login, depending, I guess, depending on your district. Mine, I can either choose to make it accessible outside or not. I'm going to keep it that you need to log in. Automatically collect respondents' Bernard's BOE username. For me, if I do not have this clicked off, I don't know who gave the response. So if you want to know specifically who gave the answers, you're going to want that checked off. Show progress at the bottom of the form. Sometimes if it's a long survey, multiple pages, it's a good idea. Kids like to know kind of how they're pacing themselves. It's not a bad idea to have that checked off, just so that they know how much longer they have to take the survey and to complete it. Only allow one response per person. That means that they can't go on over and over again and take the same questions. Shuffling question order, I very rarely click that off. It's just not something that's important to me. But maybe for your lesson, it might be something that you would want them to do. So it already has a title, and you can create a form description, which sometimes for students who might need a little bit more explanation, it's not a bad idea to complete it. Something like, please tell me a little more about how you liked activities this marking period. And then now you have your questions. So this itself is one question. So this would be where you would put your questions, like, did you like the speaking activity yesterday? Specifically, activity yesterday. Help text might be something maybe you want to say, we talked to each other about family members, just so that they have a little reminder of what it was you were talking about. Now, your question type, you can choose multiple choice, and this is where you would give them multiple choice as in yes or no. And another option is to make it a checkbox. This is where they probably could give more than one answer. So yes, no, some sort of. You can add other, that a student will be able to type in the response that they want. You can make it a paragraph text where they write their answer in a text box. I'll give you a little bit of a warning about this later. Text is a little bit shorter text. They can't write quite as much as they could in a paragraph text. Let's just say it's multiple choice. So it's either yes or no. If you click this off, that means they have to answer the question. They cannot move forward with this survey unless they answer the question. The advanced settings is something that I've been playing with more recently. So let's say I chose checkboxes. This is something that's a little bit more interesting, and I've been playing around with it. It basically means that if it's a checkbox, you can tell them that they need to choose at least 3 options. Obviously, for a yes or no answer, this wouldn't really be applicable. But if it's something like, tell me what activities you like to do in my class, and then you give speaking, writing, reading, watching videos, and you want them to choose at least or at most a certain amount of items, that might be a good idea. So the way I did that was I clicked advanced settings, and that's how I got that. Once you are done with that question and you think it's good enough, you can actually make a copy of it. And that way, instead of retyping everything, if you want them all to be multiple choice or all checkboxes and be similar, you can click make a copy, and then you can simply just change the question here. They obviously would all have to be very similar for that to apply to you. If at any time you want to go back and edit it, you simply go to the area where it is and you click edit and you can change it. And then once you're done, you click done. If you want to add more questions that are different and you don't want to make a copy, you click add question, and then you have the same thing over again, that you can make it multiple choice, you can make it a paragraph text, etc. And then that's how you add to the whole thing. So once you are done adding your options, you can click these boxes down here. So this is the confirmation page. So basically, once the student is done or the person is done, when they click submit, what's going to show up? Your response has been recorded, for example, and might be something. My kids, usually after like a marking period, I say, "Yay, you're done! Yay, you're done with marking period 2." Something kind of funny. It makes them happy. Publish and show a public link. This is if you want the students to be able to see the answers for everybody else too. Allow responders to edit after submitting. This isn't a bad idea to have if it's something like a marking period and reflection, or if it's a quiz, maybe you don't want them to be able to go back and submit and resubmit afterwards. Now, sending the form. You can, once you're ready, you can make it a URL by shortening it, and then you can copy and paste that. If you click embed, you can get for embedding it into a website. If I don't want to do that, I'm going to click done. You can also send it via email, just like you would do a Google Doc. So someone from your district would get it as well. And this is for if you want to share it with your colleagues, or then you can click send me a copy so you know you got it from them. So I don't need to do that. So I'm going to click that off. So again, it's at the bottom, send form here, and send form here at the top when you're done. And if you want to put it into a link, what I like to do is link it to my Google Classroom, and then they can access it and take it. View live form is what it looks like to the students. So before you send the form, you might want to take a look, click view live form so that you know what it looks like and you think it's understandable and it's organized enough for a student to be able to do it. So here, see, this is the bar that says how far they've gotten through the survey. You've made it. You can also click on that to go back to edit it if you find a mistake. Now, I'm going to show you one that I've done because I want to show you what it looks like when you create one and what the student responses look like. So this is one I've done for reflection of marking period 1. So this was my version of it. I had them after taking the IPA. How do you feel? I added A, B, C, D, E later because after I reflected on it, I'll show you why this might be a little bit easier. Instead of having these sentences start with the same words, I think, I put A, B, C, D, E so that when I get to the responses, it's easier for me to see what they've given just by looking at the sheet. And this is what the live form looked like to the students, and this is how they took it. And now I'm going to show you what my responses look like. They come up on a Google Sheets. So the names are tabulated, the times, and this is where the A, B, C, D, E thing comes in a little easier. Also, this is where I would caution you not to do paragraphs because then you see the paragraphs in a tiny little box. So I hope that this was helpful and that if you use them, then it'll make your life a lot easier. Thank you.